My name is Welch, and you're watching the Then and Now Baiting YouTube channel. In my last video, Robert Guerrero and I sat down and did a side-by-side comparison of the IQON AG10 carbon boot and the IQON AG20 plastic boot. Now, there wasn't a lot of differences necessarily between the two skates aesthetically. That's why this video is going to be interesting to see how they fit and how they skate, because Robert's going to be trying them both on and skating them both at the skate park in Drummondville. And afterwards, he'll be giving us his first impressions of what he thought about the skates. Now, typically, Robert skates a flat setup, and in this video, he's skating an anti-rocker setup, which is a mistake that both him and I made putting these skates together. What we did is we used the frame bolts from the IQON skates, and the frame bolts that come on the skates, they have a flat profile on both sides, they have a thicker washer, and they're just a little thicker head, which caused the Undercover 58mm wheels in the middle of the Kizer Slimline frames to rub, and we're like, oh, they don't fit, so we put in anti-rocker wheels, and we didn't even think about using the frame bolts that came with the Kizer frames. After this video was made, I actually used the frame bolts that came with the Kizer frames, and there was no rubbing. It was a perfect fit. Mental note, when you get new frames, use the frame bolts that come with the frames, not the frame bolts that are stock on your boots. Lesson learned. So let's head to the skate park and see what Robert thinks about both the IQON AG10 and AG20 aggressive inline skates. So Robert is putting on the IQON AG20s. We put the Kizer Slimline frames on with the anti-rocker setup. Now, Robert, how does a fit feel?
I'm liking how they form around my foot, because the reason I was skating smaller skates for so long was that they just really felt super tight and formed around my foot, which is the feeling I like the best. And these feel really nicely formed around my foot, but not constricting, like not squeezing my foot, you know? My initial feel is they're really nice around my foot, like, and so right now I'm having a bit of an Austin Paz experience with his whole feelings about laces. But you know what? Let me do all of the lacing and then let you know how they feel.
And how's that tongue and liner feel initially?
I mean, the tongue itself just feels super cool because this padding in it is really nice. So far they feel really good. This is kind of difficult to get this lacing in here initially. I couldn't imagine the laces coming out and then having to do this whole thing all over again. I don't necessarily know how the proper way to get this lacing and this lacing into the liner is. I don't even want to mess with it, so I'm just going to do it like that. I'll probably have to toy with how tight I can get these. I like as tight as possible without cutting off circulation, just so that my foot feels as one with the boot as possible. Wow, so far they feel really comfortable, and I like the way they look when you look down, which I think when you're skating skates, it's important that, you know, when you look down, you feel good at what you see. I think it's a big part of the skating experience actually, is when you look good, how good you feel when you're looking down at what's on your feet. And so these pass that test. But aside from that initial kind of how good I feel about looking down at this, when I look down at the sole frame, it does look a little too big. Having this much space right there doesn't really complement how good the actual boot looks. Yeah, like if it was more shaped closer to the boot, I think it would, the overall finished look, when I'm looking down, would be better. I don't know how tight I want to tighten the cuffs, because I first tightened them kind of tight and I felt too stiff. But I like a really flexible fit, like a really flexible fit. So
how are you feeling about this anti-rocker situation?
I don't like anti-rocker. I'm remembering, or at least kind of realizing that I really don't, right now at this time in my skating, don't like anti-rockers. So initially that's not feeling so great. So I'm feeling like a flex, and you can see it actually pop up like right here. It's when I put like pressure on this front area, like if I was doing like a torque, like when I direct all my body weight that way, that's when it goes.
Weird. Well, let's see what it feels like when you grind.
Okay. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel there's like a bending in. Like I have to change the way my body weight is being directed, which might be a good thing. I don't know. The comfort is really nice. I'm wondering if where that bending is happening, I'm wondering if that's a result of what my body does on anti-rocker, because I stopped skating anti-rocker in the first place because I noticed I was getting like a weird wear on my wheels, and my legs were, I think the anti-rocker was causing the way my body weight was being distributed to not be like healthy, like it was kind of hurting my knee. So I think I'm revisiting something like that right now. Like maybe that, it's better, I think maybe for me to have my body weight distributed across flat setup. But they're really comfortable, but I think they would be even more comfortable to my feet if they were flat. They would be.
They look like they slide really nice.
Yeah, they slide really good. I feel like I'm on training wheels or something with anti-rocker, like I'm on soap shoes. Whoa, shit.
Dude, they look so buttery.
Yeah, they're sliding, I mean, they're sliding really good. The amount of space that's in there, in the boot, for my foot being wide, is really nice. But also it's very snug. So like, I feel like I have enough space for my toes in the front of my foot, but not too much. It's like the snug fit is really nice.
So it's pretty perfect then.
Yeah. They slide incredible though. Whoa! They lock really good. Wow, that locks really good.
That looked really good too. The sole plate's pretty wide on those.
Yeah, it feels like that. And like, being on the grind with anti-rocker is actually not that bad. But just standing and rolling on anti-rocker I don't like.
And landing?
Yeah, and landing. Landing doesn't feel so good, anti-rocker for me. But they feel really good. There's something exciting about trying new skates for me and having them feel solid right off the boot, or right off the, the boot, I guess.
Right off the boot.
Right off the bat. Right off the boot. Right off the bat. Especially because for me, I haven't tried different and new skates in like years. So yeah, this is all really fun and exciting for me.
Robert's now going to try out the IQON AG10. These are the full carbon skates. He just skated the AG20s. We've moved the frames over from the AG20s, so we got the Kizer Slimlines with an anti-rocker setup. So let's see how these fit compared to the AG20s.
Okay. My initial thought is they're a lot tighter. They feel a lot tighter on my foot. A little, well, actually a little bit, not a lot. At first it was because the tongue was...
Okay, right.
But they do still feel tighter on my foot.
Have you ever skated carbon cuff before?
No. I've never skated carbon skates.
So this is your first time ever on a carbon skate?
Yeah. I feel like it's got a snugger fit with
the strap?
Yeah, but it also has a lot of extra
material there, right?
Material there.
So the AG20s come with a buckle only. These come default with a strap. The AG10s come default with a strap, and they also have a buckle in the box that you can switch out. Right now we're doing how it comes out of the box.
Fresh out the box.
And the fit you have out of the box isn't necessarily how it's going to be, because everything is heat moldable, both the liner and the boot on this skate. So on the AG20 you can heat mold the liner, and this one you can do the liner and the boot.
Yeah, so I would be actually extremely interested in seeing how it would fit after all of the things are formed to my foot, actually.
Have you ever actually heat molded anything?
No. I tried to heat mold some carbons in size 9, and they were too tight for my foot. I feel like these might actually be really nice if they were heat molded to my foot.
Now, do you think these are going to grind any different from the AG20s?
I don't know, maybe might be more solid, but I really can't say. I just need to fucking roll around first. Whoa. They feel more solid on the foot area. They definitely feel more stiff.
And is that good for you?
I can't tell. Huh. I mean, that feels good. It almost feels more solid. They feel more stiff, which I'm not sure how I feel about yet. And that bend is still, you see?
I haven't really heard about that being an issue for people.
I mean, I don't, like, while I'm skating and stuff, I don't feel it. The grinds don't feel too different. Did it look different to you?
No, they look the same.
The AG10 is a lot more stiff than the 20. And I don't really like a stiff fit around my foot. Like, I like more squishy, kind of flexible. So I'd have to say, right out the box, the 20s I'm liking more.
And again, Robert has never skated any form of carbon skate or heat mold anything, so out of the box it's definitely not as enjoyable to you as the AG20, which is a skate you're probably more used to anyway.
Yeah.
And now, I'd been asking you earlier, compared to the AEON and stuff, how are these comparing to that? Like this and the 20? Any similarities to the AEON, or are they completely different feel?
I think they're completely different. And I think that has a lot to do also with the fact that the AEON is a single mold. Like, I feel the difference in skating one mold, like a skate that's one mold throughout the whole thing, and a skate that has different parts that make up what it is, like sole plate, frame, boot.
Right.
I definitely feel the difference, and it's a different experience, and I can't right now say that for me one is better than the other, but I can say that that this skate, this IQON skate, is really comfortable. Like really comfortable on my foot and really snug on my foot. And compared to the AON, I feel like it's more snug around my foot. Like my foot feels like it has less space to move around. So I can say that. But it's definitely a different experience. Good, just different.
And when you're grinding, how does that feel? Any different from the AG20 as far as grinding goes? The feel of the foot on the grind?
The grind feels the same. The grind feels the same.
So it's mainly just rolling is where you feel the difference?
Yeah.
And it is the same, you know, it is the same grind plate and
on this setup, the same
you know,
frame.
sole frame and grind plate as on the AG20, so it should feel about the same.
Yeah.
Now, obviously the boot's different. That's where you're feeling it on in the rolling around.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both having that flex issue, which could be attributed to anti-rocker, but we're not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think that might be a personal thing with me and my way I shift my body weight on anti-rocker.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching Robert try on and skate both the AG10s and the AG20s. I plan on having more IQON content on both these skates in the future of me actually skating them. I'll be skating the AG20s as an aggressive setup with those Kizer frames. I might actually try to put my Wish frames on there because I do really like my Wish frames a lot. So we'll see what that setup's like. I'll be doing videos on that. And for my AG10s, I set them up with a PR80 5-wheel Wizard setup. And I have an unboxing and build video coming up next for you to check out with that. I'm really excited about that setup as well. The AG10 is supposed to be an excellent skate for mushroom blading, wizard skating, urban skating with the carbon, you know, rigid skate, the way it is, the way it's built. So I'm very excited about these two setups and to make more videos about them in the future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon to be notified of all new uploads. I have links to the skates in the description below, the frames, the wheels, so you can get those, you'll find out more about them. I also have links to Robert's social media, his Instagram, and I have links to my social media. My Instagram page is my Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz. On Instagram, I've been adding a ton of reels of old skate footage that I filmed back in 2000s, 90s, like a lot of cool stuff, all the raw clips, which is similar to the Vault series on this channel, just not in as great quality because it's kind of blown up for that real style video. But make sure and check that out. I have links to all my social media, my websites, my Patreon page, a PayPal donation link, and where you can order Dead Now Blading merchandise, all in the description below. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time here on the Dead Now Blading YouTube channel.